I did that thing again this morning. You know the one. Before my eyes were even fully open, before the sleep was out of the corners of them, my hand reached out for the nightstand, found the phone, and I started scrolling. Within 4 minutes, literally 4 minutes, I had consumed three separate articles about how the housing market is permanently broken for anyone under 40, a thread about a new conflict brewing halfway across the world, and a video analyzing how microplastics are basically rewriting our biology. That was my breakfast. That was the fuel I put into my brain to start the day. And surprise, surprise, by the time I actually got out of bed, I felt like a lead weight was sitting on my chest. I looked at the kitchen sink, looked at the mail piling up on the counter, and thought, what's the point of any of this? The world is burning, and I'm just standing here trying to decide between oatmeal or toast. It's an incredibly efficient system we've built, isn't it? We have engineered a way to induce a total existential crisis before we've even brushed our teeth. And the worst part is, we think it's normal. We think that being hyper aware of every single tragedy, every structural failure, and every piece of global bad news is the price of admission for being an adult in the modern world. But I don't think it is. I think it's just making us miserable. Here's the reality we don't like to admit. Our brains weren't built for this volume of information. For 99% of human history, if something bad happened 3 towns over, you found out about it 3 weeks later, if at all. You were responsible for your village, your family, your crops, and maybe the weather. Today, we are expected to carry the emotional weight of 8 billion people simultaneously. If a bridge collapses in a country you can't find on a map, you see the video in high definition while you're waiting in line at the grocery store. And we're told that looking away makes us bad people. We're told that if we aren't constantly outraged, constantly posting, constantly consuming the disaster narrative, then we're complicit or uneducated. But who actually benefits from the outrage? Not the people suffering in those news stories. Your panic at a bus stop doesn't fix a supply chain crisis. The only thing that benefits is the machine designed to keep your eyes locked to the screen. Outrage is the highest value currency on the internet because it's the heaviest anchor. You don't click away when you're terrified. You don't put the phone down when you think the sky is falling. So we stay glued. We trade our actual, tangible peace of mind for an abstract sense of being informed. And what do we do with all that information? Usually nothing. We just sit with it. We let it ferment into hopelessness. We become experts on things we have absolutely zero control over. While the things we can control, our health, our immediate relationships, our own backyards, just sort of wither away in the background. A few nights ago, I was having one of these heavy days, and I ended up closing all my browser tabs and watching an old concert video. It was an indie band playing an outdoor amphitheater a few years back. It started pouring rain halfway through the set, just an absolute deluge. And instead of everyone running for cover or pulling out plastic ponchos, the crowd just stayed. I looked closely at the footage. There were thousands of people, soaked to the bone, mud on their shoes, singing the words back to the stage so loudly. You could barely hear the lead singer. And the detail that struck me the most, hardly anyone had a phone out. They couldn't. If they pulled their phones out, the screens would get ruined by the rain. They were forced into the friction of the moment. They had to choose between being cold and miserable, or being cold and completely alive. They chose to be alive. Watching that, something snapped back into place for me. I realized how much time I spend trying to smooth over the edges of reality by escaping into digital spaces, only to find that the digital space is 10 times more toxic than the physical one. There is a profound beauty in things that are inconvenient, heavy, or local. We've become so allergic to boredom and discomfort that we've traded them for a highly polished, algorithmic version of despair. We look at art through a filter. We listen to music through compressed files while doing three other tasks. And we walk through beautiful parks with headphones blasted so we don't have to hear the ambient noise of the world. We are physically present, but entirely absent. Let's talk about the complaining for a second, because I'm guilty of it too. It is incredibly easy to sit online and criticize macro politics, global economics, or the broad state of culture. It makes us feel large. It makes us feel like we're participating in some grand intellectual discourse. But let me ask you a very small, very annoying question. Do you know who your city council representative is? Do you know the name of the person who actually decides how the potholes on your street get fixed? Or how your local libraries are funded? Most of us don't. I didn't for a long time because local government is boring. It doesn't have a high production value news cycle attached to it. It's just people sitting in folding chairs in a poorly lit community center talking about zoning laws. But that is exactly where life actually changes. There's this weird trap where the more global our focus becomes, the more powerless we feel. If you are trying to fix the climate crisis by arguing with a stranger in a comment section, you're going to lose your mind. But if you join a local group that plants trees in your neighborhood or fights a predatory commercial development down the street, you can actually see the result of your labor. You can touch it. We have to scale down our ambition if we want to save our sanity. Hopelessness thrives in the abstract. It dies when you have to get up, walk down the street, and talk to a real person who disagrees with you, but still shares the same zip code. So here's my proposition. It's a stupidly simple exercise, and you've probably heard versions of it before, but humor me. Right now, wherever you are watching this, whether you're on a crowded bus, lying in bed, or sitting at a desk you hate, look around and find three things that required human effort, creativity, or nature to exist. And just actually look at them for 5 seconds. I'll do it right now in this room. First, there's this wooden table I'm sitting at. It's got scratches on it. Someone had to cut that tree, cure the wood, design the joints, and ship it. It's sturdy. It holds my things. It outlived the person who made it, probably. That's remarkable. Second, I can see the light hitting the wall from the window. It's late afternoon light. That specific heavy gold color. That only happens for about 20 minutes before sunset. It's completely free. It happens every day. And most days I don't even look up to notice it. Third, I have a copy of a book on my shelf by an author who died 100 years ago. For $10, I bought the privilege of reaching across a century to read the exact thoughts of a dead person. That's essentially magic, if you think about it long enough. The world is not short on horror. We know that. The news will make sure you never forget it. But the world is also not short on these tiny, quiet miracles that require absolutely nothing from you other than your attention. The gray parts of life, the stress, the bills, the macro crises, they don't go away just because you look at the gold parts. But if you only look at the gray, you forget why you're even trying to survive in the first place. Put the phone down after this video ends. Don't click the next one in the sidebar. Don't check the comments. Just go look at your own room, or walk outside and feel the temperature of the air. Remember what it feels like to be a person living in a place, rather than a brain trapped in a network. Take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon.